morning, lovely friends. How are you all doing today? I hope you are well. I am, although I've got quite a busy day on. I thought we'd just hang out for the day together today. Yeah, quite a lot of running around. I'm looking out both windows because I was hoping to get my day underway before the next round of rain. Right, let's crack on. Just going to get a load of laundry on before we go out. Oh, sorry, clash, bang, wallet. Yeah, we had an bra. I'm going to tell you about bras in a second. We had an absolute humdinger of a storm last night. I've never known one like it. The I can't bend double. The lightning. I was allergic to it because of the lightning initially. Eek. Sorry for this really jarring jump in the video. We've only just begun as well. It's actually, it's 1:45 now. Good grief. You'll see by the end of this video today that it is, it's a long day. But anyway, the long and the short is I'm here in the kitchen at the computer editing this whole video. I thought I'd finished. And I've managed to cut about 1.5 minute chunk and lose it from here. So I'm filling in now. Yes, I was saying that there was a mega storm last night. It was bonkers. The thunder and the lightning went on for ages and ages and ages and ages. So much lightning. But the thunder, it kept being a ways off in the distance. So I was just curled up on the sofa reading my book. And then it did come closer. Thunder got louder. And the rain, oh my goodness, it lashed down. It was so heavy, it was unbelievable. So I did think, oh gosh, I hope everything at the allotment will be okay. So yes, that's all you missed. I filled the washing machine. Oh, and with my washing, I was saying that I use white vinegar instead of fabric conditioner in that final rinse thing. So it's just literally a bog standard white vinegar. It's really good because it helps to get rid of any soapy residue, both from the washing and also all the pipes. But also it helps to combat limescale because it is very heavy water here. So that was about where I got to, I think, before I cut things out. So we'll now rejoin this a day in the life of a frugal girl. And I might get to bed at 1, hopefully. All right, back to this morning and my day proper. Don't worry. Yeah, so it was quite dramatic. And the thing is, I think we've got a whole week of rain due. Now, shortly, lunch. Hang on a sec, because this is the important part. Lunch/supper. Yeah, courgette and potato soup. Isn't that all but any of us are eating at the moment? I was in the garden yesterday. I did a massive pick. Actually, you can see there's some there. Tomatoes. There's more over there waiting for me to process. I've got a little handful I'm going to drop off with a friend today because she hasn't got any. But because I picked so many tomatoes yesterday, my granny trolley was full of them. So I had to leave another harvest there, which I want to go and collect today. Spotting with rain already. The problem is, if I've got one hand on the granny trolley and one hand on my walking stick, I haven't got a hand free for a brolly. I'm going to get wet. Doesn't matter. I'm not made of soap. I won't dissolve, will I? Yes, so I'm going to go and get that harvest this morning. I've got a parcel. I've just made up another parcel. So go to the post office. I need to pop to the bookshop very quickly for something I thought up last night. But that bra. So another of my new Marks and Spencer's bras is on its last legs. Can't believe it. June, July, August, halfway through September. So the first one broke after 2 months and a week. This one's on its last legs after 3.5 months. And basically underneath each cup, the seams underneath have just disintegrated, so the wires are showing. I'm going to try and fix it myself. I'm going to try and hand sew it, just try and close that seam up again. But I'm disappointed and I'm pretty disgusted. And I think what's disappointing is the fact that also in my stock, I've got bras that they're all from M&S that are, I've got some that are 3 or 4 years old and they're still going fine. It's just this lot, and I do not want to go back to that shop to do an exchange, because I know they don't do refunds. I just don't want to experience that again, because honestly, last time it took all my strength not to cry in the shop. I mean, I know I was emotional and vulnerable at the time anyway, because it was literally about 2 weeks after my sister's funeral. But even so, I don't want to experience that again. I just won't be shopping there anymore. But I did suddenly think, you remember when they didn't give me a refund, so I got a nice gift card. Cheers, a gift card. I did suddenly think, oh, because it's 20 quid, I think, I'll get some more thermals. So this isn't about bashing M&S, it's just about bashing their bras. Those thermals were great last winter, and so I think I'll get another, it won't be enough for another set, either another top or another bottom half, because yeah, I think it's going to be another fuel tight winter. Anyway, right, the wash is on, my soup is out for my dinner tonight, parcel's ready for the post office, so we'll hit the post office and then get straight to the plot. Put a Macintosh on, I don't have one, grab a brolly or something, because yeah, it's starting to spit with rain again. I think we're going to get a bit wet, but anyway, come on, off we go. Oh good, I'm just arriving at the garden, as you can see, and I'm happy because, yeah, just, sorry, I got hair right in my face. Oh, morning, Rosie. Meow, meow. You are so loud, Rosie. Yes, I'm coming. What do you say? Meow? Meow? Say meow to the people. So, oh, Rosie was distracting. Yeah, I was just a bit concerned because that was a lashing storm last night, that I would arrive to see damage. I would arrive to see all my tomato plants downed or what have you. Right. No pigeon, very casual. So, can you see that stand of beans over there? Looks pretty bare, doesn't it? And this bed that was the Coco de Pampo is looking pretty bare. That's what we've come to collect today. I will explain more and explain why in the shed, because I'm desperate for a sit down. But you can see on this bed where I basically yesterday I cropped and dropped. This bed will need a lot more material to cover it for the winter, but that's the detritus from the plants. But the gold is in the shed. Come on, Rosie, lead the way. That's it. Oh, it's a racing pigeon. Oh, can you see it's got rings on its feet? Hang on. Rosie has history with pigeons. Rosie, I'm going to distract her. Hang on a sec. Oh. Sorry, that was a little bit of a panic moment, because that was a racing pigeon on the floor. A wild pigeon would have flown off before I got anywhere near it. I could also tell because of it's got 2 rings on either leg. To see Rosie about 1.5 meters away from it, that was, just drop the camera, grab the cat. Rosie has form. I once had a racing pigeon land in my garden, and sometimes apparently it happens. I don't know really very much about racing pigeons, but I did learn a bit that last time. This is going back probably to about 2014-15 or so. They can come down, they can sometimes get a bit disorientated for some reason. Maybe it was the storm last night. I hope it wasn't out in the storm last night. But sometimes they can just get a bit tired. Sometimes they come down and they look for a bit of water or whatever it is. But yeah, the one I had previously, it came down, it was in the garden, and it was around for sort of about 2 or 3 days. And I did finally manage to capture it. However, before I caught it, well, there were 2 captures almost. Rosie got her mouth onto it, and it ended up behind Kai's shed. There was this big brouhaha. But anyway, we managed to get the bird off Rosie, and that pigeon's coming up my path. I might have to try and capture it. Anyway, managed to capture the pigeon. I had it in my shed. I didn't have a pigeon cage, of course, but I had like a big basket, big wire, open wire basket. Is that rain again? Anyway, the point is, I managed to get hold of it. I managed to get hold of its ring number. Managed to get hold of the Pigeon Racers Association or whatever of Great Britain, found out who the bird belonged to, and then was able to ring the owner. The owner then could come, and I could reunite him with his pigeon. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. Anyway, sorry, that's so it's never a dull day. So the main thing is, by this stage in my morning, I really, really need to sit down. My knees are hurting. So, I kind of guessed that would be the case. I'm prepared for that. Why have I come to the shed, though? So, I did a big pick yesterday. Got all the tomatoes home, but I didn't have room. Oh, no, they weigh quite a lot. This is about half of them. I've got a sack down there as well. This is all the beans, the climbing beans and the cocoa de pampa bush beans that were dry. And I came and did it yesterday in a little bit of a panic. I didn't do any filming. It was a bit of a kind of like, panic pick, because I haven't been free, I haven't been available, whatever. And I knew that a lot of them were, they were so dry, some of them were actually bursting open. They burst open. They've been filling in their seed, and the seed's been getting nicked by, not sure what kind of animals are nicking my bean seed, mice, rats, squirrels, who knows. But anyway, some of them were starting to burst. And I'd seen that the forecast was saying that it's from yesterday at 2 o'clock, we would have rain, pretty much rain non-stop until I go off my little trip to Dorset. So I thought, that's it, all my dry stuff, it's going to get soaked. Quick, panic stations, come and pick. So I picked all of that. The intention was also to pick my calendula seed heads, lavender, Anyway, the rain didn't come at 2, it came at just after 1. The heavens opened. I got home very, very wet. The beans are coming home with me today for me to basically... Oh, and I want to remember to take my secateurs home for chopping. I'm going to pod them at home. Now you might think, why don't you just pod them in the garden rather than carrying them all the way home? Then you've got to bring the pods back. There's a specific reason for that. I'm going to do them tonight while something else is happening. I need to get home and get on with other work. I don't have the time to sit during daytime when I need the light for other jobs. I don't really have the time to sit around in the shed doing it. So they're coming home with me. The secateurs will also come home because as I pod them, I'll chop the pods up a bit for compost. And just as I was alluding to out there with the cocoa de pampa bed, when the plants are finished in a bed, I practice crop and drop, so that basically I harvest whatever is on the plant, and then whatever's left, it just gets dropped onto the soil and left to rot over the winter. So I cheat a bit, I crop and chop and drop. So I chop the material up a little bit. with secateurs. So all the long bean stalks and vines, any leafy bit, yeah, it just gets chop, 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 chop it down, drop it. Just drop it on that bed, and all the goodness from in the plants, some of it will go back into the soil. So they'll get chopped up tonight. But, okay, this morning so far that wash is on, so when I get home that wash will have finished. It's long since finished. Oh, Rosie, please don't go chasing that pigeon. Yeah, when I kind of pretty much dropped the camera just then, just grabbed Rosie by the scruff of the neck. She's all right though, aren't you, little one? So I've delivered 2 lots of tomatoes today, one to a friend who doesn't have any plants. I feel kind of bad for them. And then the other I've dropped some off for a little bit of trading. Great, that'll be more laundry liquid at some point in the winter. Come on then. Come on, little one. Here she is. Oh, I keep her distracted in here. So yes, I've done some trading. Then I've whizzed up to, I mentioned I was going to the bookshop because I wanted to collect this. Do any of you know the Wainwright Prize? I didn't know of this book prize. I'll talk a bit more about this. Oh, and there's a fox dashing down my other path. Goodness me. It's like a Disney film in the garden today with all the little creatures. They're all taking it over because it's there's no humans around because it's damp. I'd spotted this in their window with a display of some of the shortlisted books. It's all about nature, ecology, agriculture, farming, rural living, right up my street. So I wanted to grab a copy because I don't know about the prize. I wanted to read a bit more, but also because I knew I was going to be doing this loop trip today, that by the time I get to the shed, I will... Are you sneezing, Rosie? You're distracting me from the... Oh, sweetheart. Are you right? Have you got a tickle up your nozzle? Oh my goodness, too much jeopardy today. Right, anyway, the point is I knew that, so then I've been to the post office, I bumped into a friend, quick chat, but I didn't stay long chatting to my friend because it is a day to get on with things. But I knew that then by the time I've done the bookshop at the top of the hill, then the post office, drop off 2 lots of tomatoes, get to the plot, I knew by then I'd want to sit down. So that's what I'm going to do, just for sort of 10 minutes, just to let my knees be less angry. I'm going to have a little flick through that booklet about the prize, pack the granny trolley, then we're going to get home and time to tackle the next things on the list. Yeah, I'll see you at home. And we'll get on with the next thing on the list. I'm home. It feels really muggy and cloying and close today. It should be absolutely lashing down by now, but as usual, it seems the forecast is wrong. Right, get myself organised. Just get my laundry out. I did wash it yesterday. It's not all dry yet. Where am I going to fit everything? Because of course I dry my laundry the Frugal girl way. Dry it on an airing rack. Of course, it doesn't cost anything, does it? What I'll do is, and then I'll just shove this into the bathroom out of the way. And yeah, it works. It works. It doesn't work quite so well in winter. Well, it didn't last winter because, of course, the heating was off all the time. But you know, in normal winters, when I do have the heating on, of course. Sorry, I've got so many things on my mind today. Yeah, of course, when I put this into the bathroom and the little rads on in the bathroom, it all ends up being like a drying cupboard. The whole bathroom turns into a drying cupboard. Now, once I've got the laundry hung, I'm at that stage now where my knees are really killing me with all my jaunting this morning. It's about 12 noon and I mean, I haven't been on the go, upright on the go that whole time, but quite a bit of that time. So now I'm at that stage where my knees are really quite angry, but that's okay. I mean, it's not okay. What I mean is, I've planned for that. I've accommodated that into my day. That's why I plan so carefully, so that for the next, I think, probably until about 5 o'clock now, most of my jobs are going to be sitting down jobs. So I'm going to work on through till about 5, then we'll stop and have some soup. And then get on with today's evening session. This is a big cloth. This is lovely, actually. Really lovely cloth. I use this. Oh, it's huge. I use this as a throw on the sofa because the sofa cushions are so worn out. It won't fit on the airing rack though, so that can go. It can go outside on my little sort of half landing. There's space for it and a hanky and reusable makeup pad. What do you call them? What do you call these pads? You know, for getting your makeup off. Like we would have used cotton pads once upon a time. Now, that's been used a lot. It's been washed a lot. Look, you never get them white again. They never come white. So if you get a bit freaked out about that thing, you just have to learn to live with it. It's so much better to use one, and it's so I can't. It's hard to just sort of describe the softness, but it's so soft. But why would you use? I can't imagine in this day and age any of us using something that we take our makeup off with once and then throw it away. It's crazy. Don't throw anything away. So yeah, my little reusable ones. And what I do is in the bathroom, you can tell obviously on the floor. Ow, 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 ow. You can tell obviously that last week was a pretty much zero makeup week. One. But yeah, I have this little, you know, one of these little laundry bags just hanging in the bathroom, and so when I've used one, it goes in there, use, and then when it's laundry day, just zip it up and chuck it in the machine with all the other washing. Brilliant. You can make these yourself, of course. I can't remember how much these were. I think they came in packs of 3. I got 2 packs. I think it was like buy one get one half price, maybe for a £5. So for that initial outlay, but they'll last forever. And how long have I had these now? I can't remember. I did have some other ones which I'd made myself, which I didn't, you know, they worked perfectly well, but they weren't as soft as these, and I just wanted something softer for my skin. Anyway, yeah, swap out your cotton wool pads for reusables. In the long term, you're going to save yourself money. But more than that, let's stop putting things in bins. Yay, right, I'm going to go and put this one outside, and then I just have to check my list. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, we'll be in the kitchen next. Hang on a tick. Yes, I definitely need some sit-down stuff to do now. So, now, and this is a bit weird, now I'm about to make a video. So yeah, I'm a bit surrealed by that, because I'm going to make a video, but I'm already in a video, making a video. So, look, today, hanging out with me today, it's, you know, it's a typical day in the life of a frugal girl. So normally I wouldn't be filming all the other stuff around me during the day. I would just get on and make a video, and that's what you'd see. So today it's kind of like 2 bites of the cherry. So for this part of your video that you're watching now, I'm going to say ta-ra for now. I'll see you in a split second though, by the magic of videoing. I'm going to get on with making this video, if I can speak. Once I've made the video, once I've filmed the video, then I'll rejoin you here today in this one and talk about what's happening next and how my little frugal day is going to progress. Done. Your like split second in my real time was about an hour and a half. So that's a low spend holidays video filmed. You'll see that after this one. So it's filmed, then a chunk of time it takes to the footage out of the camera into the computer. Once it's in the computer, I can get that camera card back out, pop it in the camera. Once it's in the computer, I then have to download it from there into my editing program, which is just happening now. It's into the editing program, but I'm just waiting for the sound track to catch up. So now I'm going to start editing. It's gone 2 o'clock. So the editing will probably take me about an hour, no more. Whilst it's editing, this is what I mean about planning, whilst that's editing, the camera, because I've used it quite a lot today already, it's going to be turned off. It's going to be over here, ready to recharge the camera battery. Once the editing's done, I'll be then in the other room. I'll explain that when we get to it. Oh, hang on a minute, wriggle. So that in the meantime, so I've filmed the video. Then to get it from the camera card downloaded into the computer so I can actually edit it, that often takes it can take sort of 15-20 minutes. It's one of those, come on, get on with it. It used to really frustrate me, but I've learned, instead of standing here watching it going, 1%, 2% and going my knickers in a twist, I get it underway and then I go off and do something else. It's like literally never wasting a minute of the day. So in that time, now in the living room, I've got myself all set up for my podding session, chopping session, bits and bobs. I've also, it's getting really dark suddenly and the rain's just started, but it was okay a minute ago. I've just also taken, I've just been doing some photographs of some new shop stock. So I can't upload it at the moment because the computer's in use, but at least the photographs have been done and all that little, stagey stuff. So by the time I've done those little bits and bobs in that room, I've come back, it's now all downloaded into the computer, so now I can upload it into my editing program. And I've just seen, boom, I've got all my sound now, so now I can actually start editing. So I'm going to go off again for, in your time, a second, in my time, about an hour, and we'll reconvene in the living room. We might have to put a light on though, because it's getting really dark. The promised storm is coming in. Such gorgeous afternoon light coming in. Oh, let's get comfy. Oh, this is the part of the day. Got me pinning on. It's the same every day. Just looking at the clock, it's 10 to 4. This is the part of my day every day when I start to feel a little bit weary, and this is the part of the day when I think, just sack it off for the day, be done. I suppose one of the reasons I want to share these kind of days with you, and I've done it, I don't know, about maybe 6 or 7 times over the years, I've done a day in the life of. I think one of the reasons I want to share is so that folk get an idea of, what do you do with your day, Vivi? But also it's a bit of a reality check, because I get so many people messaging. It's going to be too noisy, isn't it? Okay, so what I should have said is, right, let's go back. I've left the kitchen. The kitchen is my study at the moment. So that video that I made, which is about low spend holidays, which you'll see next, that's edited, and it's saved, and it's now in the rendering process. It goes through a process that makes it uploadable to YouTube, and that can take 2 to 3 hours. Hence the way I plan my day. While that's happening, I can't use the computer. If I use the computer for anything, the rendering just stops. I stop what I'm doing, rendering starts again. So I just don't interfere with it. lesson learned over the years. So it'll take 2 to 3 hours, computer not usable. So that's when I will do something else like these beans. Once this is all done, and I'll tie this up shortly, once that video is rendered and done, then after I've done my beans and stuff and this video is finished, I'll then do this video, and that will take us to about midnight tonight, and then I'll relax. I'll tell you about relaxation in a second. But yeah, it's getting on for 4 o'clock. I got up at 8 this morning, and this is why I can't stand that whole, oh, so nice of you to join us thing of when larks, morning larks say to me, or they kind of infer, or they imply, I infer from them, that I'm lazy because I didn't get up till 8 or 9 a.m. And I think, yeah, but I'm going to be working till midnight. So shut up. Don't give me a hard time for getting up late because I didn't sleep at all last night or whatever it is. Anyway, but the point is, yeah, so 8-ish this morning, got up, go on the computer, answer emails, messages, comments, etc, etc, etc. Put that wash on. I think that was at about 8:45 this morning. So this video you're seeing, I think I turned the camera on at 8:45. It's now 4. So this is not a pity party. Not a pity party. It's, like I say, it's a reality check. So I've already done an 8-hour day, and people might think, oh, but it's a really easy, breezy, nice 8-hour day. And yeah, it is. My work is lovely. I've got a pod in chat. There are no two ways about it. My work is lovely, and I'm very grateful to have it. It is lovely. But the days are long. If you want to live without a wage, and if you want to live mostly by what you grow, the days are long. And the main thing is, I would say the main thing, if you want to give up work and grow your own food and live like that, is you've got to be organised. You've got to make pretty much every minute of every day count. Because you will be trying to earn money somewhere else, whether it's YouTube or me with my shop or my sewing, whatever it is. You won't earn very much from that, so you need to do a lot of it. You need to keep doing it all the time. You need to keep on top of your food and producing your food, and that takes time, not just to grow it, but to then harvest it, process it, And that's why right back at the beginning of this video, now for you it was only about 15 minutes ago, for me it was 7 hours ago, when I was, how long ago? It was about 5 hours ago when I was in the shed collecting my beans. And I was saying, I'm not going to stay in the shed to pod my beans, I'll take them home. And some people might say, some people might say, just take them home and pod, I'm tired. Some people would say, stay at the shed and pod them in the shed, save carrying all the pods home, then carrying them back. But this is exactly why I've done it this way round. If I'd have stayed in the shed, because I've got this little pile here, and the rest of that sat there, and then I've got there's a lot to do. I don't know, 3 or 4 hours of podding, and then after I've podded them, I've got my secateurs to hand. So at the moment they're all going in my laundry basket, but I've just lined it with a bin bag for now. They'll all get chopped. It could be 4, 5, 6 hours of work. So if I'd stayed in the shed to do it, say it was 11 this morning, I'd say it took 5 hours, I'd be there till 4 this afternoon. I'd get back now, and now I'd be starting to do all the videoing stuff that I was doing earlier, and then the rendering, and then it would be 3 or 4 in the morning before the rendering and all that stuff was done. That's bonkers. So yeah, anyone who questions why have I brought them home, I know what it takes to make the most of every minute of every single day. Yeah, they are long days, and is it hard work? Sometimes it's hard work. Sometimes the garden is hard work, as in physically hard. But you know what? I don't think it is hard work. I think it's lovely, easy, happy work. It just takes a long time. It just takes a long time to do everything. So yeah, if you want to quit your job and live off the land, you need to be organised. You need to make sure that every minute of every day you're making the most of it. And some of that is about relaxation. Of course it is. So whatever happens today, this is going to take, if it's 4 o'clock now, and I'm guesstimating 5 or 6 hours to do all my podding and chopping. I stopped to think for a minute then, because that would take me to about 9-10 o'clock. That video that's currently rendering, that will be done by about 6 or 7 this evening. If it's done by 7, then this video I can start to edit. That will take to about 9, then render that. Rendering this, it'll go on to about 1. So today might be 1 o'clock finish. Not ideal, but it's 2 videos today. But yeah, it will get to about midnight, 1 o'clock, and then I'll say, stop. Whatever I'm doing, stop. And then, I've just got one of my bowls. This is a really useful bowl. I'll come to relaxation in a second. This is a really lovely, useful bowl. This came all the way back from Lefkas in Greece. Because it's so big and broad and flat, all my beans are going to go into it. Well, some of them, the cocoa will go into it. They're going to go not into the window but near the window, and they'll finish drying. I mean, to be honest, I think they're bone dry already, but I will still give them some drying time. So that's one of my bowls for these. I've got different types of beans in the other bag. I think there's 4 or 5, I can't remember now, different types of beans. When I pop them, I'll know what they are, because they're all different to look at. Likewise with them, even like this tray I'm working on, I've got 2 of these trays. All the beans tonight will get spread out on trays, bowls, whatever, to finish drying. But then, never mind all the beans and the drying and all that finishing, the best part of my day, every day, I don't know if you can get an idea of it, so you can see all my cushions are pillowed up here. This is my reading spot. This is where I snuggle into of a night, and I don't, you can quite see it. Let me bring it into shot. My light. This is the light I use when I'm sewing, if I'm doing sewing in my lap. So obviously I've got overhead lighting, but this I bring in an angle over the end of the sofa if I'm doing hand sewing, but also for when I'm reading and reaching forward. I've started a new book, and it's from, well, she knows already because she's got it as well. It was a gift from Angela, who's bought herself the same book. I hope she's enjoying it. I'm not going to talk too much about the book today, because I've kind of only just started it. I'm only about 70 pages in. Loving it. Quick flash, it's called An Almost Impossible Thing. But look, you see this? This is Little Toller Press. This is my adored press. It's a Dorset publisher. Who knew? Simply put, women entering the RHS and gardening in the the early 1890s. Social history. I'll talk about it more when I've read it. I'm loving it so far. It's a bit of a shocker as well. And that, it was, I started reading this, I received it, I hadn't started reading it. I'd looked I'd looked it up a bit. Then I'd seen in my bookshop about this Wainwright Prize, which I didn't know about. It's only been in existence 10 years. That's probably why I didn't know, because 10 years ago I was in nursing, not books. I'm talking quickly, I'm sorry, I'm just, this day, I'm trying to get my energy up to keep going. I'll talk about this too some more when we talk about the book separately. I thought this book was one of the shortlist. It's not, it's a different book, but it's also about women in gardening. We'll explore that more thoroughly in a separate video. But that and this is what I will be doing at midnight tonight. So I'll read for about an hour or so. I try to allow myself an hour. If it's a really good book, it might end up being till 2 in the morning. We'll see. But just quickly on the note of the books, because I'm now really flagging and I need to just zone out of the world and zone into beans. With the books, I love books, you know that. I didn't ever intentionally set out to, I'm going to do a book review. It was more a thing of if I was having a chatty catch-up. Oh, by the way, I've read this book, it's great. It's about blah, blah, blah. But it seems that folk have really enjoyed when I've been talking about books. And I know loads of you who have picked up some of the books I've talked about, in particular the Henrietta Lacks story, such an important book. And loads of you bought The Boys in the Boat. Really, that Boys in the Boat at the moment, I've got 3 front runners for my book of the year this year, including Henrietta Lacks and Boys in the Boat. But what I thought I'd do is, because they're all, so some people said, you should start a book review channel. I don't really want to start a separate channel. My days are busy enough. But what I'm going to do over the winter, I think, because folk have asked about previous books I've read. And I don't know where they are, because they're all just part of my chatty videos in the playlist on the sofa. So I think what I'm going to do this winter, winter's the perfect time, long dark nights, there's no gardening, almost, there's virtually no gardening, is I'm going to go back through those videos and find all the spots where I've done book reviews, pull them out of those videos. I might have to do a new intro and a new outro, but bring them all out of the shadows of general chit chat on the sofa and give them their own space in a new playlist, which will be just about the books I've read, my little book reviews, and I think it'll be a nice little platform for us to share all our book loves. And then also later on, if you've then read the book yourself that I've talked about, then you can add a comment to say what you thought of it. So we can, almost like a little book club, not a reading club. I'm not going to do a Richard and Paul, they're doing something completely different. I'm not going to have videos where I say, this is the book I'm about to read, let's all read it together and talk about it at the end. I can't organise that. And besides, I don't think, I don't know, I don't know if my book taste is a bit boring, a bit out there, I don't know. I don't read much fiction, I know folk prefer fiction, whatever. But I think it would be a nice idea to have a little completely separate section on my channel that's just the books. I'm sure, I'm reaching down, I'm going to get on the beans. I'm sure you'll let me know what you think about that idea. I'd like to hear what you think about that idea. Like I said, most of that's been filmed already. It's about me pulling those things back out of obscurity. And then I suppose if that goes down okay, what I can do in future is, if I'm going to talk about a book, just do it as a standalone video and keep it separate from my general chit chats. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I'm going to get on with things. I'm going to get on with podding, and then later on chopping pods, then later on making all this footage into a video. Another long day, but a good day. Ah, and you know what? I'm so tired. Just to summarise, I made a note of this earlier when I got in and I sat down. So, how is this a frugal day? I mean, every day is a frugal day for me, but let's just recap, because I think this has been about a half hour, maybe 40-minute video. A 40-minute video that actually encapsulates a 16-hour day. In my day, my frugal ways have given me, I traded some tomatoes for some free laundry liquid. I harvested, I am processing now a load of food for winter. Super frugal. You can hear how dry they are, can't you? I tended to my shop. I fulfilled a couple of orders this morning. They went to the post office. I photographed some new stock. They won't be uploaded yet. I can't upload them because the computer's in action. But I've got a little bit of new stock and it's photographed and ready to go. So I'm looking after my income. I have made not one but 2 videos today. That's going to pay my bills. I've dried my washing for free. Yay! You don't need a tumble dryer. I haven't eaten yet today, but I will eat later on. I'm going to eat my soup, which is pretty much free. I bought the onion. The potato was given to me by a friend. A friend dug a load of potatoes up. So it's my courgette, a friend's potatoes, a shop bought onion, and the cardamom. I mean, I don't know how much a couple of pods of cardamom cost. Pennies. So essentially I've eaten for almost nothing, or I haven't eaten yet, but I will eat later for almost nothing. And then later on this evening, for my entertainment and relaxation, I will read a book, that was a gift, but essentially a book reading can be completely free if you use a library or if you swap between friends. So yeah, free laundry drying, free entertainment, almost free supper tonight, free winter food. I didn't spend any money on compost. These went straight into the ground. I didn't spend any money on seed. It's my own saved seed. Yeah, there was some of my own labour. And a little bit of income earned by making 2 videos and selling a couple of bits in my shop. That's how I do my frugal girl life. Right. What's the fairy? I was going to say, what's the fairy tale? It's Rapunzel, isn't it? Not Rapunzel. Rumpelstiltskin. When that nasty little goblin-y thing is spinning her straw or her hay into gold. Well, you know what? I don't need Rumpelstiltskin, because I'll spin my own straw into gold. And this stuff really is gold. On that note, I'm going to be spinning till midnight. I'll see you all again really soon. Next time I see you will be for the video I filmed during this video, all about frugal holidays and days out, just in time for my trip to Dorset. Can't wait. So until that one, look after yourselves, look after each other, look after your harvests, be happy in your work. Cheerio. Someone set a timer on me. Midnight. Bye, lovelies.